The key to happiness is knowing you have the power to choose what to accept and what to let go. Dodinsky. There are profound truths we can only realize after enduring enough of life's painful ups and downs. Happiness is never a mere reflection of external events, but an echo of how we choose to respond to the world. Each human soul is inherently a quiet garden. With every passing day, the winds of life blindly scatter countless seeds upon it. Some seeds nurture hope, compassion, and love, yet there is no shortage of toxic seeds bearing fear, envy, and disappointment. What determines whether your inner sanctuary will bloom in radiant fragrance or be choked by weeds lies not in the force of the wind, but in the gardener, who is none other than you. You hold the absolute power to decide which sprouts to nourish and what to courageously uproot before its roots take deep hold. If you harbor a word of criticism, it quietly turns into a burden of self-doubt. If you cling to an old wound, it constructs an invisible cage to imprison your present. Yet, if you choose to treasure a gentle word of encouragement, a moment of peace, or a precious lesson, those seeds will transform into a fountain of strength, uplifting you through life's stormiest days. Whatever we choose to retain within our minds slowly blossoms and bears fruit, defining who we become. Many mistakenly believe that letting go is a sign of weakness. In truth, letting go is the pinnacle of wisdom and courage. Holding onto a burning hot coal with the intent of burning someone else leaves your own hand as the first and only one to suffer the pain. Clinging to resentment cannot alter the past. It only consumes the tranquility of your present. There are connections that must be closed, failures that must be set down, and outdated expectations that must be released. Letting go is not because those things were unimportant, but because your soul deserves to be free and unburdened. Life is a continuous sequence of choices. You can drown in regret before a door that has just closed, or hold your head high to welcome the new corridor unfolding ahead. You can allow negative energy to ruin your entire day, or smile, let it pass, and forge ahead on your journey. You can choose to drift like a leaf swept away by the wind, or stand tall like an ancient tree, unyielding amid the tempest. The difference lies not in circumstance, but in the mastery over one's internal world. Happiness is not a random gift bestowed upon those with perfect lives. Happiness is the sweet fruit of a conscious process of choice, choosing forgiveness over blame, choosing gratitude over complaint, choosing hope over collapse, and above all, choosing to love yourself enough not to carry sorrows that do not belong to you. When you realize that you hold the key to deciding what remains and what should be swept away by the wind, you will cease playing the victim of circumstance and become the true driver of your destiny. Happiness does not come from controlling the vast universe, but springs from the stillness within your own soul. It is the most magical inner strength every human possesses, and from the very moment you courageously choose the positive, reality begins to transform in the most peaceful and meaningful way. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. Jim Rohn. We often harbor a gentle dream, waiting for good fortune to knock on our door, wishing for more favorable times, hoping hardships untangle themselves so life can turn to a brighter chapter. Yet time is a relentless river, and if we stand still, everything remains frozen at the starting line. Luck may randomly brush past anyone, but it rarely lingers with stubborn souls who refuse to change. The turning points of destiny are never mere coincidences. They are the sweet fruit of a brave decision to change oneself. We long for fresh, sweet fruits, yet hesitate to abandon old habits. That is no different from hoping to behold a brilliantly blooming spring while stubbornly clinging to withered, untrimmed branches. A seed, wishing to become a giant tree amid the wilderness, must endure the agony of cracking its shell, burying itself in darkness, and steadfastly rising toward the sun. Change is much the same. It always begins with a feeling of unease, yet that very disquiet is the window opening into the realm of true growth. People often hesitate to cross boundaries, even when knowing full well that their present reality has become suffocatingly small. We resign ourselves to soul-draining jobs, maintain health-eroding habits, or cling to negative mindsets simply because they feel familiar. Yet a prolonged comfort zone is nothing more than a cushioned cage. It locks us in, not with iron bars, but with the fear of failure and hesitation. Only when you boldly step beyond those boundaries will you discover latent energies you never knew you possessed. Change does not necessarily have to be grand revolutions. Sometimes it begins by waking up 15 minutes earlier, reading a few more pages, mastering a new skill, learning self-compassion, or shedding a long-held prejudice. Those minor strides are like persistent water droplets carving through solid stone. In a single day, you see no difference. In a month, the outcome remains faint. But after years, that very perseverance builds a new identity, what the world calls success, and what you know as the reward of daily consistency. Luck may unlock a door, but only transformation gives you the fortitude to walk across the threshold. Opportunity may arrive unexpectedly, but if your mindset remains archaic and your attitude negative, it will swiftly take flight and vanish. Conversely, when you continuously refine yourself, even adversity becomes a launchpad, propelling you toward a stronger, wiser version. Every positive thought, disciplined action, and courageous decision is quietly sketching your future. Life is not shaped by the gifts of chance, but by what you courageously choose to become. When you shift your mindset, the world around you inherently transforms. That is humanity's ultimate power. Not passively awaiting good fortune, but actively constructing a brilliant life through personal breakthrough. If you are depressed about the state of the world, start building something. James Clear. On certain mornings, we awaken to feel the world around us overwhelmed with chaos. The news surges with conflict. Cyberspace overflows with arguments. People rush to judge rather than understand, and darkness threatens to overshadow beauty. Facing such a canvas, many fall into a sense of utter helplessness. They complain, succumb to despair, and give up, believing they are far too small to make a difference. Yet history proves the world has never been transformed by mere bystanders. All great shifts originate from individuals who take action rather than cast blame. When we get swept up in matters beyond our control, anxiety and despair swiftly consume us. The mind becomes trapped in an alarm state without an exit, causing us to lose faith in our own capabilities. Conversely, the moment you begin to create, even in the smallest way, your mindset instantly shifts from passive to proactive. The sense of agency awakens, and hope quietly ignites within. The act of creation itself is the most miraculous remedy for hopelessness. Picture a builder standing before a barren plot of land. If he spends his energy sighing over weeds and jagged rocks, the land will remain a desolate ruin forever. But if he lays down the first brick, sturdy walls will slowly materialize. Life operates in precisely the same manner. We cannot single-handedly change the entire world in an instant, yet we can certainly build a more harmonious home, craft a meaningful product, write an inspiring book, run an ethical business, or sow a compassionate gesture into someone's life. Each humble effort serves as a vital piece, making the world a place more worth living in. Miraculously, the happiest individuals are often not those with perfect lives, but those continuously immersed in creating value. They are absorbed in expanding knowledge, sharpening skills, nurturing relationships, and refining their character. When the mind plunges into the creative flow, it leaves no room for cynicism, just as a tenderly tended garden leaves no space for weeds. A soul engaged in creation naturally immunizes itself against toxic thoughts. This world is already overflowing with judgment. What we yearn for are individuals ready to be part of the solution. A devoted teacher can illuminate the future of countless students. A loving parent can nurture a generation of kindness. A youth steadfastly pursuing a dream can awaken the fire in thousands of hearts. Wonders are forever born from simple acts performed with persistence and unshakable faith. If today you feel disillusioned with reality, waste no energy on futile grievances. Channel that restlessness into fuel to build something meaningful. Learn a new skill, plant a seed, aid someone in distress, launch a cherished project, or simply cultivate your inner self. Every good deed you create is a candle lit amid the pitch-black night. A single candle might not dispel the darkness of the entire universe, yet it easily illuminates the space around it. And when millions of souls choose to kindle a light rather than curse the dark, the world shifts not through grand slogans, but through the quiet persistence of noble deeds. You don't need to solve every problem right now. Just solve the problems that are blocking you. James Clear. The root of human exhaustion rarely stems from life piling up too many hardships, but from the pressure we place on ourselves to conquer them all at once. We gaze upon an endless checklist of anxieties, career, finances, family, health, and future, and corner ourselves into suffocating dread. Our mind, in those moments, resembles a chaotic desk. When everything is stacked sky high, panic sets in, and you lose sight of where to begin. Yet simply clearing the single obstacle, obscuring your most vital task, restores immediate order. Life operates by that same minimalist, magical principle. As the tally of pressures grows longer, the brain easily falls into paralysis. Instead of taking action, we procrastinate. Instead of seeking solutions, we wallow in anxiety. The truth, however, is that not all obstacles carry equal weight. Within that tangled web, there are always just a few strategic bottlenecks holding you back. Untangle that key bottleneck, and countless peripheral troubles will dissolve or become vastly simpler to manage. Imagine driving along a long journey. Ahead lie countless treacherous turns and rough stretches of road. Yet, at this exact moment, the sole reason your car grinds to a halt is a massive fallen tree blocking the path. You need not step out to smooth every pothole or repave the entire highway. The singular task required is focusing on moving that tree aside. Once the largest obstruction is cleared, the vehicle rolls forward, granting you the time and stamina to confront upcoming trials. Do not waste mental energy on distant concerns. Focus your full might on resolving the barrier, actively stopping your progress. The essence of failure in many is not a lack of talent, but the dispersion of focus. They stretch themselves thin, attempting perfection in everything simultaneously, leaving nothing truly fulfilled. In contrast, masters of performance possess a razor-sharp mindset, the power of prioritization. They do not burden themselves with, "How do I solve everything?" but soberly ask, What is the single greatest barrier holding me back? That pivotal question directs their entire mental focus to the exact fulcrum needed for a breakthrough. On the journey of maturity, there will always be equations without immediate answers. Some questions require time to reveal themselves, and some wounds demand patient healing. Forcing everything to be perfect immediately only accumulates deeper exhaustion. Sometimes, true wisdom lies not in frantic haste, but in calmly identifying the single highest priority right now. When the largest boulder on your path is lifted, the remaining pebbles lose their power to trip you up. Do not let the sheer volume of problems crush your self-belief. Break them down, observe with clarity, and pinpoint the fallen tree obstructing your voyage. Address one matter at a time. Take each step steadfastly. Day by day, every barrier conquered builds greater fortitude to weather larger storms. Life does not ask you to carry the weight of the universe in a single day. It only asks that you be discerning enough to recognize the locked door and brave enough to push it wide open. As long as you never halt, step by small step, you will surely touch the life you have always dreamed of. You rarely overcome the expectations you hold for yourself. James Clear. An invisible yet unyielding frontier exists within the minds of each of us. Remarkably, that wall is not forged by circumstances, age, or actual talent, but carved out of how we perceive our own worth. Countless individuals possess innate potential, yet remain trapped in mediocrity, not from lack of ability, but because deep down, they never believed they deserved greatness. Humans rarely surpass the psychological blueprint they draft for themselves. Passion and self-belief act like a silent inner compass, discreetly steering every thought, emotion, and behavior. If you label yourself as weak, you unconsciously dodge challenges, dread failure, and surrender at the first sign of resistance. Every retreat further reinforces the prejudice that you are not good enough. A toxic cycle is formed not because reality proves you inadequate, but because distorted belief drives behavior, and behavior yields the very outcomes you feared. Such is the haunting, self-fulfilling power of personal expectation. There is a tale of a proud eagle raised from birth in a chicken coop. Day after day, it witnessed only chickens flapping their wings to hop inches off the ground before falling back down. Gradually, it became convinced that the vast sky was never meant for its presence. Its wings remained powerful and its gaze sharp, yet belief had become an invisible cage, locking it in place. It was imprisoned not by iron bars, but by the diminished self-image it accepted. So many among us are living a life just like that. We carry the wings of an eagle, yet adopt the mindset of a groundling creature, limiting ourselves with self-rejecting narratives. I'm not smart enough. I lack talent. That dream is a luxury I can't afford. Those internal monologues gradually turn into reality because you surrendered long before granting yourself a chance to prove otherwise. Failure is not the most terrifying thing. What is far more frightening is settling for a mediocre version of yourself beneath your true potential. When you repeatedly echo a negative belief, the brain records it as a command, searching relentlessly for evidence to validate it. If you believe you will fail, you perceive only hazards. But if you believe in your capacity to grow, every tribulation becomes a stepping stone, lifting you to new heights. Perspective, rather than circumstance, is what creates boundaries. Yet, the magic lies here. The portrait of yourself is not a static masterpiece. You have full power to redraw it through small, consistent actions. Every time you confront fear, every effort to overcome an obstacle, every promise kept to yourself sends a potent message to your subconscious. I am far stronger than I imagined. Over time, those positive proofs will shatter ancient prejudices. You need not transform into someone entirely different overnight. You only need to continuously expand the horizons you once drew for yourself. Reality remains an accurate mirror, reflecting the image held in your mind. If you picture only a narrow path, your feet will tread nowhere beyond it. But when you dare to believe you can reach further, learn more, and become a superior version daily, the world automatically opens matching opportunities. Success originates not from luck or inherited conditions. It begins the moment you shift your mindset toward yourself. For as the canvas in your mind expands, the boundaries of your life break through as well. Rightful belief in oneself stands as the firmest anchor for you to build a brilliant and extraordinary future.